So let's talk about another medium format camera, the Fuji GFX 100 and 100S. I've tried both, but I've got the 100 here now. My thoughts on this camera are pretty darn straightforward. This is probably the best medium format camera on the market in terms of versatility and feature set, but I don't think it's the camera for me. And in this video, I'll tell you why. In terms of build quality, it's very good. Not Leica quality or anything like that, but typical Japanese Canon, Sony, Nikon manufacturer quality. Definitely better than their XT line of cameras. I will say I had a defective X100S that I had to send back twice to get fixed to Fuji. I've had no issues with this big guy. I like this one better. It's got a much better viewfinder, and I actually like the vertical grip on a big camera with big lenses like this. So I didn't find that to be too much of an issue, although it would take a smaller one too. I'm kind of either way on that. The promise of a smaller, lighter digital camera has really come true. I mean, these medium format cameras are pretty small compared to the last generation of cameras like the H6D and the Phase 1 cameras. The lenses for the system are great, although somewhat limited. I love that you can adapt basically any lens to this camera, and it works great because it has a mechanical shutter inside of it. That's so much fun and such a great thing. You can have everything from European, tilt shift lenses to old Pentax medium format lenses to Contax lenses and Mamiya lenses. So much fun with that. That's such a cool feature. I would say the lenses can be a little clinical, a little photocopiery, not a ton of character, just like sharp edge to edge, very clean, sort of a blank slate to work with, but it does have that medium format pop. You're not going to be able to tell much difference between a photo coming out of this or a Hasselblad H6D or a Phase 1 camera. It really is a medium format camera, despite the sensor size. Unless you're doing archival things or, museum renderings, you're not going to notice the difference, honestly. For art things or fashion things like that, I think there is no difference. And this is the next generation of medium format cameras. This is where the future is. Like I'm sure you've seen in many reviews, even though this is probably the most performant medium format camera, I would say that it's still very slow. The shutter is so slow, especially on this one. I think it's a little bit faster actually on the X100S. Really, if you're looking for a performant medium format camera, lots of positives. Accepting that all medium format cameras are slower than mirrorless cameras like the Sony A7R5 and the Canon R5. The R&D is just not there to make them faster. They could be, but it's just not quite there yet. Putting that aside, really my only problem with the GFX 100 and the 100S is Fuji's color science. I really, really don't like these film simulations. I could see how it's fun in a camera like the X-T5 or the X100V, but for a professional tool like this, it just seems kind of gimmicky and like plasticky, consumer grade thinking. I really want sort of a flat neutral profile, not unlike what Leica kind of gives and Canon gives. Just give me a regular color profile to work from that looks like real life, not like some old film stock. Generally speaking, I don't think color science is a top priority in a camera. In this instance, that was kind of the deal breaker for me. I can get super duper clean images. The sensor in this camera gives amazingly clean images. Exactly what you would want out of a medium format camera if you know what you're doing in post. But the extra work the colors take to take out, even using Capture One where you can layer over a Canon or Leica color profile, it just takes forever and is very touchy to color correct these files and get them to where I personally would want them to be. And sometimes you can't quite get it all the way. The raw file is too corrupted, as it were, with the Fuji color science to fix. So, for me, it's a real bummer because otherwise this camera would be a great solution for what I was looking for. But I'm just too lazy and I don't want to deal with that in post. So, in conclusion, if The color science of Fuji cameras doesn't bother you, highly recommend. This is probably the best medium format camera on the market. If the color science does bother you, or you want more of a luxury item, you may want to take a harder look at the Hasselblad X2D or the Leica S3. I've got videos on both those cameras below. Take a look, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this camera in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.